Fairy Tale World. Tabii, işte masalın ilk bölümü İngilizceye çevrilmiş hali. The Big White Bear of the Arctic. Once upon a time, in a distant land, there was a world covered in snow and ice in the cold and desolate northern lands. In this world lived a giant white polar bear named Snowpaw. Snowpaw loved wandering among the glaciers with his snowy white fur and enormous paws. In the place where Snowpaw lived, the sun sometimes never set, and sometimes it never rose. In the summer, the days never ended, and in the winter, the night never ceased. But for Snowpaw, this was never a problem because he was happy in both seasons. In the endless days of summer, he swam in the seas and caught fish, and in the endless nights of winter, he dreamed while watching the stars. One day, Snowpaw had a dream while sleeping in an ice cave. In his dream, he went on a great adventure, traveled to distant lands, met other animals, and made new friends. This dream awakened a desire to explore in Snowpaw. When he woke up, he decided to set out immediately. However, he didn't know where to start. Therefore, he decided to consult his closest friend, an old and wise owl named Hoot. Hoot listened to Snowpaw carefully, and then told him the secret of the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights were colorful lights dancing in the sky of the polar regions, and if he followed them, he could go to places he had never seen before. Snowpaw followed Hoot's advice and began to follow the Northern Lights. For days and nights, he walked, crossing glaciers and snow. During his journey, he encountered many animals. One day, he met a family of seals and had fun sliding on the ice with them. On another day, he befriended a huge walrus. However, his greatest adventure was saving a little fox during a snowstorm. The snowstorm was so fierce that the little fox had lost its way and was about to freeze. Snowpaw, with his enormous body, wrapped the little fox to warm it and protect it, and after the storm subsided, he took the fox to a safe place. At the end of his journey, Snowpaw reached the place where the Northern Lights were the brightest. It was like a magical land. The lights dancing in the sky created colorful shadows on the ground. Here, Snowpaw met another polar bear named Snowtrack. Snowtrack was an adventurous bear like Snowpaw, and they quickly became friends. Snowpaw and Snowtrack had many adventures together, discovered new places, and met many animals. Now, Snowpaw knew that the cold and desolate lands of the north were not just filled with white ice and snow, but also with friendship and adventures. One day, Snowpaw decided to return home. When he said goodbye to Snowtrack, they promised to meet again one day. Snowpaw followed the Northern Lights back home. When he returned, he told Hoot all about his adventures, and they laughed together. Snowpaw was happier than ever because he knew that no matter where in the world he was, friendship and adventures would always be waiting for him. And every night, he would fall asleep dreaming while watching the stars. 3 snowflakes fell from the sky, one on the child's cheek, one on the mother's cheek, and one on the father's cheek. As they melted, Snowpaw's adventures would continue to be told. Elbette, işte masalın ikinci bölümü İngilizceye çevrilmiş hali. The Big White Bear of the Arctic. New adventures after Snowpaw returned home. He rested for a while and began wandering the glaciers as he used to. However, his sense of adventure had not waned. One day, the old and wise owl Hoot came to visit him. Hoot told Snowpaw about a magical forest far away. This forest had trees that glowed at night, talking rivers, and magical creatures. Snowpaw's curiosity was piqued once again, and he wanted to see this magical forest. Hoot told him that the forest was beyond the northern lights and gave him directions. Snowpaw made his preparations and set off immediately. In the early days of his journey, Snowpaw encountered his old friends. The little fox, the seal family, and the walrus were all delighted to see him again. They spent time together, reminiscing about old times and planning new adventures. However, Snowpaw's mind was always on the magical forest, and he wanted to get there as soon as possible. During his journey, Snowpaw reached a valley surrounded by huge glaciers and high mountains. In the middle of the valley, there was a bright light shining up into the sky. Snowpaw realized that this light was a sign of the path to the magical forest, and he walked towards it with excitement. After a while, Snowpaw met a group of reindeer. These reindeer were the guardians of the magical forest. They told Snowpaw how to reach the magical forest and what he needed to do there. Following the lead of the reindeer chief, Star Antlers, Snowpaw reached the gates of the magical forest. The gates of the magical forest were made of giant trees and covered with glowing leaves. Snowpaw carefully pushed open the gates and stepped into the forest. What he saw inside enchanted him. The trees were glowing with each leaf shimmering, and a soft music echoed throughout the forest. This sound came from a magical river in the heart of the forest. As Snowpaw walked through the forest, he encountered a small winged creature. This creature was the spirit of the forest, and it welcomed Snowpaw. The forest spirit told Snowpaw that there were many secrets in the forest, and that it needed his help to solve them. Snowpaw immediately agreed to help. The forest spirit first took Snowpaw to the glowing trees. These trees glowed with the power of a special stone, and one of these stones was missing. Snowpaw followed the trail of the stone and ventured deep into the forest. After days of searching, he found the stone hidden in a cave. When he placed the stone back in its place, the trees glowed even brighter. Next, the forest spirit took him to the talking river. This river used to sing joyful songs, but recently it had fallen silent. Snowpaw realized that there was a problem with the river and found that a large stone was blocking the flow of water. Using all his strength, Snowpaw moved the stone, and the river began to sing again. Finally, the forest spirit showed Snowpaw the magical creatures. These creatures danced in the forest every night, bringing life to it. However, a malevolent creature had frightened them into hiding. Snowpaw gathered his courage, found the malevolent creature, and confronted it. The creature was impressed by Snowpaw's bravery and left the forest. The magical creatures reappeared, and there was a grand celebration in the forest. At the end of his time in the magical forest, Snowpaw bid farewell to the forest spirit and set off to return home. When he arrived home, he told Hoot and his other friends all about his adventures. Snowpaw now knew that he was a part of not only the cold lands of the north, but also the magical forests. And so, Snowpaw's adventures continued to be told. 3 snowflakes fell from the sky, one on the child's cheek, one on the mother's cheek, and one on the father's cheek. As they melted, Snowpaw's adventures would continue to be told. Good night, sweet dreams.